Okay, I never thought I'd be making this video. I mean, I normally speak about jobs in the Middle East and Indians, but I've been lately getting Africans or people from Africa sending me messages and asking me questions, and one of them even posted, I think, on yesterday's video that could you talk about Africans in UAE? What are the job prospects and what is life for them? Okay, now before I even speak about this, a couple of disclaimers I want to give. Number one is I'm giving you my opinion. Okay, my opinion, and I can be wrong. So please feel free to correct me in the comments below. I'll not censor, I'll not delete any. Feel free to correct me. Second one is I'm not very good at camouflaging or being diplomatic with sentences, very direct. So it may not be, some of my words or the language that I use may sound rude or racist, as some people say, or culturally insensitive. So if you are sensitive and all that, don't watch this video. Okay, and number three is, this video is not going to be about giving you a hogwash or whitewash of reality. I'll try to be as real as possible. So having said that, let me share with you my opinion about what are the opportunities for Africans in the Middle East, not just UAE. Okay. Now the first thing which you need to understand is perception. When you say India, you get the perception of, a guy singing and a girl with sari, lili, lili, la 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 la, and they dancing, and guy chasing the girl, and music, and you think of eating spicy food and curry, and that's the image people have. Colorful red, the girl dressed up in red for a wedding, and the guy dressed up as, Maharaja, Before that, it was the flying carpet and the magic snake. Magic carpet and, the guy taking the snake charmer and the snake and all that. Okay. So over the years, the perception has changed for Indians. Now, when you say Pakistan, obviously, thanks to Imran Khan, at least the image is slightly improved. Others, people used to think Pakistan and Afghanistan and Taliban is the same thing. Okay. And you can go on with the Russia, you can say Mother Russia, and the James Bond movie, that they're very cold-eyed, steely-eyed, and pale white skin, and drink vodka and wear the cap and say, "Hail Mother Russia." Okay. So the reason why I say this is because there is a perception when you say Africans. And this has been made popular by Hollywood. Always in Hollywood, the hero is always the white guy. Okay. Sometimes they may have white guy with, I don't know what is the right term, African American or black guy. Okay. And then the villains are always, like in Rambo, the Afghanistan, the guys with the beard, or the Russians in Rocky, or you get cold-eyed Europeans, or the Chinese, the evil Chinese, like how the Americans say the Chinese imperialist or the Chinese regime. And so when Africans are portrayed, they are normally portrayed as guys who are really sweating and wearing torn clothes and having a big machine gun with a lot of bullets, and they live in poverty. Like, I think that ship movie with Tom Hanks, Captain Phillips. So the general picture of Africans is very sad, and it shows like a war-torn country. In fact, if you see some of the war movies, I don't know, the very popular one where they had Black Hawk Down. Yeah, Black Hawk Down. So they show Africans in a very negative light. And then obviously it's very hard for a non-African like me to know the difference between Africa, Nigeria, Niger, different parts of Africa. Because, not been to Africa. In fact, I was really surprised to know that there were Indians in Africa. I just found that after I made friends from Africa who are Indians, and they said, oh, the Indians are plenty. In fact, Indians are like cockroaches. And then I started getting more of the feed, I think because of Google's algorithm. Started finding out there are plenty of Indians, and our Indians are stingy there also. And Africans and Indians have big problems and issues. And okay. Now, I give you a background. So the first problem is perception. So when you have a perception that Africans are poor or Africans are from a war-torn country, even before you meet an African, you have a set prejudice from a poor country. He's a poor person. He needs money. He's not educated. So this is the sad reality that people have first. That's number one. The second thing is, we live in a day and age where this girl is trying to chase that boy. I think they had a breakup. The boy doesn't want to talk to her. She's cycling towards him. Okay, so now number one is poverty. Okay, number two is because of the number of scams and number of documentaries, a scammer from Nigeria, the Nigerian prince and all that. So they generally have this, they're afraid of, and given the Hollywood portrayal of an African is always a bad guy. I will kill you and eat your heart. A blood diamond. You will see this knife go right inside you. And they always show an African with big eyes and this glaring white teeth. I will kill you. You will see the real blood of your mother and father. Like you'll never get an African in a Hollywood movie talk like, hey, how are you doing, man? And every time you see an African, he's either having a machine gun or a machete, or he's chopping someone's hand, and blood diamonds, with Leonardo DiCaprio. You never get an African who's polite and nice. The funny thing is, when I speak to these Africans, even I've chatted with scammers, actual scammers, they say, I'm a scammer. They're so polite. Real Africans, there's no real and artificial. I mean, Africans in general, I would say they're polite people. They speak good English. They're nice people. Are they criminals? Oh, yes, plenty. Are they bad guys? Oh, yes, plenty. Are they people are crazy? Yes, plenty. India also has that. But my experience with them has been good. You'll be surprised to know. My experience with men has been more positive than women from Africa. African men have been really nice to deal with. African women, my goodness, they are so aggressive, they are crazy. Ooh, I don't know what it is about African women. They are ready to pull your head off. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting only the aggressive ones. But I could say African men are comparatively, African men are very timid. African women, I think the ones who travel and all that, they're very aggressive. Oof. Some of them are real crazy. I've had a couple of bad experiences. So, but African men, they're very polite and very nice. And now, please don't get angry. I'm just telling my experience. Okay. So now, what happens when you have all this, and finally you have a racist attitude in the Middle East? The Arabs, by default, it's not that they are bad people, but they have this fascination towards white skin, white girls, white passport, white skin. It's even in Thailand here, you'll see all the creams, all the gels, you'll see all the ads, all the models, they are white. Their skin is white. In fact, if you go to any 7-Eleven in Thailand, there is cream for whitening your skin. There is drinks for lightening your skin. There is medicines for everything is white. In fact, if you see any of the movies or TV serials of all these Asian, Korean, Japanese, Thai, they are all white. They are all light skinned. They believe white is beautiful. In fact, there's one book Thai book where they showed a light-skinned guy. They wrote down handsome. A dark-skinned guy. Actual, I can't find it, man. They show an African face and they say ugly. I'm not joking, huh? This is actual. And even in India, if you actually look at it, the name of the brand is Fair and Lovely. Just Google search. In India, there's a cream called Fair and Lovely. And there's another cream called Fair and Handsome. So when you have this underlying belief system that fair or light skin or white is beautiful and dark is bad and ugly, like even if you see comic book adaptations, dark side, even Star Wars, welcome to the dark side, the blackness of his heart. See the language, the blackness of his heart. And Jesus is portrayed even as a light. I'm the light of the world. Like, right. And you see Jesus, he looks like a bloody American. Mother Mary looks like an American. In fact, if you look at it, all the... I don't want to get into this race card where they say, but the majority of even the ruling family, you check the ruling family in Arab countries, all the rulers, their wives, they are all fair skin. Have a look at the members of parliament. Have a look at the ruling council. All are white, fair skin. Show me one black African. So when you have TV ads which want to show you only white, they show white means successful. Oh, he's from the West. When they show an Emirati or an Arab with a white, light colored people or models, when you have Westerners sitting down and drinking champagne and an Asian guy serving, have you ever seen an ad where an Emirati is serving like a waiter, or there's an Emirati cleaner? No. So given all this, the upbringing, the mentality, the way the language is built, Africans by default get the tough end of the bargain. It's a sad thing. Even during my corporate days, when an African CV came, immediately they were judged. I've seen Indian employers just put it aside. No, don't want. Now the funny thing is, there are so many Africans who are very educated. I have had the honor and privilege to rebrand a couple of Africans, their CVs. Oh my goodness, it has given me a shock. Like some of them are so enterprising, like their CVs, the way they came from abject poverty to where they are. So what I've realized is Africans face a real uphill battle. They face a very tough challenge. Even if you're qualified, even if you have all the credentials, even if your communication skills is good, but you're an African, you will be judged. And sadly, in the Middle East, you'll end up getting a job as security guard or cleaner. You'll join as a waiter. In my 40 years of being in the Middle East, 40. Forgive me for my ignorance or whatever, but I'm telling you the truth. My 40 years of being in the Middle East, I've not seen one African CEO, one African director, one African at a very senior position. Have I met rich Africans? Oh yes, 100%. Some of them are, oh my goodness. In fact, one of my friends, his American teacher, he has shared me photographs of, they have gold cutlery and even guns. Imagine in UAE, guns and cutlery. Now obviously you'll say this is mafia. Now I don't know if they are mafia or whatever, but they are very rich. There are a lot of Africans who are filthy rich. Oh my goodness, unbelievably rich. Okay, but my interaction with finding Africans in the corporate world, you could say I could count them in my fingertips. Maybe 5 or maybe in 40 years. Managers, I've not seen any. Now there can be enough and more reasons. People say, there are not enough Africans, or we don't have the smart ones, or we don't have the educated ones, or people can give lots of reasons. But I can tell you this much. Number one is, you will not see any African at higher levels. You'll not see any African or who looks dark in color in big government positions. You'll not see any ruling member of the family have someone who's black. You will not see any African who's a CEO of a multinational company in the Middle East, unless I'm wrong, unless it's an African company with an African. So, the sad fact is, you will be facing the bad end of the bargain. Now, having said that, is there any hope, or is all hope lost? See, the very fact that I've spoken to a few Africans and I've done the resume rebrand of these people, that's how I came to know. There are people in successful positions, but it's not too many. It's far and few. There are some who are really, like, there was this African guy who I spoke to. He joined as a junior engineer. He taught himself and studied while working. And he ended up at a managerial position. It's like, wow. And he came to me for resume rebranding, because from a manager now he wants to move abroad, and from the Middle East he wants to go abroad, and he wanted to make his resume rebrand. Very intelligent guy, very humble, very nice. Okay. I've bumped into a lot of average Joe males and females. Yes, bye-bye. Bye-bye. My family. I met a lot of guys and girls young men and women who want to climb up the ladder. Okay, so there's quite a number of them. So now, conclusion. Would I recommend Africans to go to the Middle East? I would caution you, strongly caution you. You need to know where you're going, which company you're going. If it is a local person, be very careful. Because if it is not a multinational company, it's a local person. He can promise you one thing, he can deliver another, or he can take advantage of you. Second part is, if it is a multinational company, are they giving equal pay for everyone? Okay, now given the currency value, I'm sure must be lower. You can correct me if I'm wrong. It's lower than the dirham. So are they giving you the African-based equivalent, or are they giving you the international standards? Okay. And last but not the least, I would say that given a choice between the West and going to the East. Now, obviously, if Africa, there are no jobs and there's corruption and there's poverty, anything better than Africa, yes, you should go for it. Okay. But then use the Middle East as a stepping stone to go to the West. In fact, if you can go directly to the West through legal channels, I would highly recommend that. And one thing I'll tell you, this is without a doubt, one of the worst companies to work for. One of the worst companies to work for, apart from Emirati, is Indian managed companies. Our Indians are the worst. Indians, Pakistanis. Yeah, I know, because they like to be stingy. I'm sure in Africa also you have stingy Indians. So overall, see, look, don't just accept my word as gospel truth. Fight it. Unless people fight it, not fight means don't create a revolution. Unless you challenge the status quo and you work hard towards success, you're not going to fight this perception. Okay, so don't give up on your dreams just because I told you that there is racism. Yes, there's racism everywhere. Okay, there's no world that is perfect. There'll be indifference everywhere. There'll be sexism everywhere. There'll be politics everywhere. But don't let that discourage you from chasing your dreams. Fight it out. And it's not just, don't just have the Middle East. There are so many countries in the Middle East. You can try all of them. Try the West, try everywhere. Don't give up, but fight it out. And eventually, as you struggle, as you keep doing it, you will grow. In fact, you'll be surprised to know many of my Indian friends are actually doing business with Africa now and making a lot more money. Many of my Indian friends are actually working in Africa because of projects there. So it's not, Africa is not poor. And given the fact that now so many people are looking at Africa as potential revenue generating countries, I think that shows that you have potential to be international and global. So all I'll tell you is use the information that I've given you to create a sense of awareness. Fly down to the UAE or the Middle East or whichever country you want to apply for a job. First go there as a tourist, have a look around, check. And then first time go and enjoy. Second time when you go there, start applying for jobs, see what is the response, and then form your own opinions. And then at some point, if you feel, okay, I've gone 2-3 times, not succeeded, then you can come to me or people like me for professional guidance and help and figure out how you can succeed. So this is what I want to share with you guys. It has been a pleasure to have people from Africa asking me questions, and I just feel bad for you guys because there are so many of you who are really polite, really nice, but you end up with the wrong end of the stick. And yeah, I'm very bloody afraid of African women. I don't know why, but I end up with the aggressive ones. Okay, you guys take care. Put your comments down below, and to that African friend of mine or follower who put this, thanks for the topic. I hope this answers your question. This is me signing off. You guys take care. And one last thing. If you notice, I walk in the sun, and I've told my wife, I'm not crazy about white skin. And I don't want my daughter to be just fair. Natural is good. So be proud of the color of the skin and who you are. Let that not discourage you. All right? You guys take care. This is me signing off. Ciao.